Don't jump. Binary chemical weapons.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's episode of The Side Panel. I am your host as always, AJ, and this week, as you can tell, I am playing this old school first person, more of a third person, over the shoulder kind of retro game called Onimusha Warlords. This is a rehash game. One of those, what do you call it, remastered games that they brought over from the, God, I haven't played this game since the PlayStation. But it is now available on the Switch, and I am playing it on the OLED system. And I just thought I would review it. So, as you can see, I am, well, I guess I should give a shout out as to what the game is about and all that stuff. So, as you can see, I am running around here killing demons. And it is set in feudal Japan during the time of Oda Nobunaga, who, if you ever studied up in Japanese history, knows that at one point Oda Nobunaga, why can't I pronounce it right now? Probably because I'm distracted. He united all the clans, the Japanese clans, at one point in time in their history. And right now is kind of showing that. Well, not really. But stab and die. Anyway, this game takes place during that time, and this character's name is Shinsuke. Simonosuke, and you're just running around trying to fight off all the demons coming into this world. And Oda Nobunaga, that's how you pronounce it. Oh my god, it was bugging me. Oda Nobunaga kind of went, they tried to make him kind of like Hitler, and where Hitler was very fascinated by witch culture and supernatural culture and stuff like that, because he thought he could harness those powers that would help him win the World War. And so they're kind of putting that on Oda Nobunaga here, and that they're saying that he got into league with the demons and devils and all that stuff and brought them onto the earth to fight for him in order for him to take over feudal Japan and all the other wonderful places. So right now, I am running around trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go next. And I think I'm supposed to go in that red door. Yeah. Let me go back. Anyway, so this is what has been obsessing me for the past week or so. I say week because it is not super in-depth of a game. In fact, as you can probably tell, I'm breezing through it fairly easy. The graphics are pretty awesome considering what they were and how they were ported over from. I will say, however, like the backgrounds are very static, and it does that obvious thing where, like, all right, I can totally tell that I'm supposed to like touch this item. Yeah, I'm trying to switch over weapons. This is the annoying thing. If you want to switch weapons, you can, but unfortunately, you can only touch one button at a time when you're doing it. So if you're moving, running, blocking, anything like that, you can't switch weapons. And you switch weapons by just hitting the R2 button like that. Or the L2 button where you can pull up all your other stuff. The flintlock, the bow and arrow, and then you got all three swords here. And that's kind of cool that you have access to it like that. However, again, like if I'm pushing, like I'm moving, and I hit any of the other buttons, I cannot switch weapons. So all I can do is react right now. So the gameplay is pretty easy. It's pretty simple, straightforward. I'm not spending too much time figuring things out. The controls are simplistic, and it takes some time to remember. Like Capcom back in the day when this game first came out, you couldn't do things like move the camera view around or camera angles. You got stuck playing these games, and you get into these random camera angles where you just walk up on somebody and boom, there's like somebody there and you can't even tell, off frame, and they'll just start attacking you. So like there's a guy, see right there, and it's easier with right now because I'm so amped up. Like I've been playing the game so long that I beefed up my character that I could just slaughter everybody as I walk through, which is nice right now. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm just burning through these guys. But like sometimes it just reminds me of that old school annoyance, where you're just like, all right. See how he's off screen right there? I can't really tell what's going on. So unfortunately, when those things happen, sorry, I get trapped in this game. See, like you get stuck with that stupid camera angle for no reason whatsoever, and then you're just stuck there, and there's nothing you can do. These games back in the day, you would get stuck in a corner and not know what's happening, but you're trapped there because some NPC is got you pinned, and they're just draining your life and killing you, and you can't see what's happening because it's all off screen. And that's how it was back in those days, and it was annoying as heck. So I'm just gonna get to a save point right now, and so I can show you guys around in the game. So these are the save points. Alright. I've already gotten all these different equipment. It lays out like the old school games, Makes me very reminiscent of a lot of the Resident Evil games and stuff. And that's what this game was when it came out. It was like the Japanese fighting style game, samurai answer to Resident Evil. And I enjoyed the hell out of it when it first came out. And a lot of a lot of its sequels were played in the same manner. However, there came a point when it turned into a mass murder kill game, murder spree type game where it's just you and a horde of 50,000 people coming at you. And I can't remember what the name of the other game was that was similar to that style, but that's what Onimusha turned into eventually. And that's when I stopped getting into it because it got too annoying. I liked this because it was a puzzle game, it was a solver, and it had a story to it and a horror element to it. And so I was able to get into it more. Um, However, when it decided to do all that switching and everything else that it wanted to do, the other style of games, I just couldn't get into it. And so, oh look, apparently I went all this way for no reason. The other thing that was annoying back in the day of these games that a lot of the games nowadays offer is warp points. You are unable to transport back anywhere else in the game. You have to manually walk to each point, as I'm doing now. Games nowadays understand that their maps are huge and massive, and it's just easier to warp from one map to another instead of having to run through and deal with all these trials and tribulations over and over and over again. And they get really old. So, okay, jerk. Here, take this. There. And have another one. And that's what you get. There. I'm going to suck your soul and go back inside. Leave me alone. Anyway, so these games nowadays, you know, like I said, you get warp points. Now these games you don't. So you got to go through every single painful step. And see how they have boundaries too. There's a lot of games nowadays that are more open world style games where you just fall off the edge of the world right there and then die. The movements in here are really rather jerky, as you can tell. There's a couple parts in this game where you have to move your character via puzzle based on like a floor pattern and follow that floor pattern. And because of the janky movements of these characters, it made the challenge harder. So that was really annoying. But you kind of get over it after a while. So where am I going now? I don't like you. Die, ninja, die. Die, ninja, die, ninja, die. Die, ninja. Sorry. Little Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there. Flashing back on my age, you. So yeah. There you go. Onimusha Warlords, the remaster for the Nintendo Switch OLED. I am enjoying the heck out of it. I look forward to playing more. This is one of the first ones I played. Resident Evil 0, the remaster, and the Resident Evil original game remaster, and those were fun. Just like this is. I needed a good hack and slash every now and then. A lot of the games I've been playing have been too involved and in depth, so you kind of want a no-brainer just to mindlessly play through, and that's what you're getting here with Onimusha Warlords. And why can't I go through that door? Alright, well, I'm going to have to figure this out. Oh, no, I'm through the door. Ha ha ha. Screw you, Benny. Da 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 da. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to be moving on to the next levels here. So, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. And I hope to catch you on the next episode of the side panel. Once I'm done with this game, I will be moving on to reading the Second String Savior by Rick Walteri. If you had a chance to see our interview of him on the panel cast, it was great to have him there. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, it's still up, and if you get a chance, just go check it out, because it was a lot of fun getting to interview him. And I look forward to having more interactions with him. And I'm enjoying the series that I'm reading that he wrote currently. while I eagerly anticipate his next story and the next video game for me to want to get lost into. So, yeah. Until that time, guys, thanks again for tuning in, and I hope this was informative as well as fun to watch. Until next time.
I'm horror and comedy author Rick Gualtieri, and when you're not assaulting your eyeballs with my books, you should definitely be making sweet love to your ear holes by listening to the Forbidden Panel podcast.